Right hungry.
I have one.
Yeah.
What's the shelf life on something like multivitamins or vitamin C?
You know, it depends on storage. Most expiration dates on over-the-counter products isn't going to be more than a couple of years.
Okay.
You know, but you can probably extend that if you backpack it and put it in the freezer to some degree.
Okay.
But again, potency is a big issue. Also, make sure your vitamins weren't manufactured in China. I'm serious about that.
Yeah, how do you make sure?
Hold on. I fell into a resource where my daughter is a medical professional and my son-in-law is a firefighter. And they go through their offices or their trucks, I don't know, every 6 months or so, and throw away the
Good stuff.
EpiPens and the
Perfectly good stuff.
intravenous fluids and stuff. And I've been collecting them.
Yeah, you know, the shelf life of IV fluids is probably longer than suggested on the packaging, especially if you keep it cool and dry. And things like EpiPens, again, you get into some potency issues after long periods of time. But you know, things like, I hate to say hydrocodone, or oral pain relievers, narcotics, actually are pretty stable for a long time. And certain things have better shelf life than others. But yeah, there are places that are mandated to recycle stuff. And you know, these first responder units, and so I know a lot of y'all do that. Some certain clinics, hospitals, in certain parts of their inventory, they have to recycle it. Even if it's not expired, after a certain period of time, they have to recycle it, and that may be a source of things.
Dalton, can you explain natural sources of vitamin C?
Pine needles. That's the best, most recognizable year-round source that we generally have
Eat 'em or make a tea?
Green pond.
throughout the U.S. Yes, green, of course.
Make a tea?
You know, natural products, one of my favorite courses in pharmacy school, which is what I was before I went to medical school, was a class called pharmacognosy, which is basically drugs from plants. And pharmacy students no longer have to take that course. Very few schools offer it at all. But there are a number of references out there that you can acquire that will teach you natural plant products and natural products that have certain things that you will find useful, and you should avail yourself of those things. You have a question? I'll find. Okay. Yes, sir.
Drive home the point you were talking about possible fatalities from like pelvic fracture and basically any long bone, but basically that. If you look around, everybody in here, every fourth person, if you fall, if you're over 65 years old and you suffer a femur or a hip fracture, pelvic, only 1 in 4 is still alive in 18 months.
Oh, yeah.
And that is
Yeah,
current evidence.
that's a
base
real
that
statistic.
we're working on right
That's a
now.
real statistic, and we see those hip
Actually,
fractures
hip fractures, only 40%.
make it more than 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, even with surgery.
right.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
surgery and
that's
early
now with all
mobility.
the
Right, that's grid up.
support.
So if somebody falls and if you have an older person in your community and they fall and they break their hip,
Shoot 'em.
not good. No, don't shoot them. But, you know, I mean,
And that brings on, how much of your finite resources can you expend on
Well, that was
what
my
you-
point.
It boils down to a triage.
and that's
type
gonna be an
situation.
emotional
And how do you
problem.
tell son that grandpa is not gonna make it?
And the
And-
son has been out of his antipsychotics and his SSRIs for
Exactly.
3 months
Right,
already.
you may not be dealing with rational, but those issues, those triage issues are probably something that is best addressed at some point, once you have your environment somewhat stable and you have your facility or whatever your little system's gonna be set up. Those things should be addressed within your community with kind of sort of a memorandum of understanding.
SOP.
Medical officer briefing and
Yes,
policy.
yes.
So given what was just said about some cases it's going to be fatal, stores have available some kind of kill pill? I mean, those who choose to,
Rubbing alcohol.
Black caps.
That's
painful, man.
Yeah,
1.56 millimeter.
that's,
What was the question?
Can you buy a kill pill?
Euthanizing.
Get some laurel, mountain laurel leaves, make a tea of that, really concentrated, and give it to them.
There you go.
So does it pay?
That'll check them out for two.
Our mountain pharmacognosist.
One more.
Yes, sir.
One more question.
Burial and disposal.
That's a great point. I didn't cover.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that is a great point.
Can you repeat the question?
Proper burial and disposal. That's a great, that kind of comes under sanitation, to be honest. Again, something emotional and something that should probably be addressed in a memorandum of understanding. If you're in a fixed location, you know, it needs to be addressed as a sanitation issue, really, more, as much as anything, a hygiene issue. And there's always cremation to some degree.
You also have another issue. That's assuming that society does not rebuild. What if society does rebuild? Then you've got legal considerations. If you don't go through the steps of proper documentation. of
You
this
should
person,
document those
and
kinds
you
of things.
prove it's not a homicide, but it was actually natural.
Well, I think that comes under fog of war.
Yes.